I mean, if that's not embarrassing to have on a podcast, I don't know what is. I don't really know what is.
It's the day-to-day life. Wanna know what it's like?
Mom.
Just an average family with a few million likes. We're a husband, a wife, and a kid in the limelight. 24/7 just to F and get by. It's a house full of love. No, we can't let it fade. So let's start a podcast just to make it insane. It's that MOMager life. We take it day by day.
Mom!
What do you want? I'm trying to sing a f***ing theme song.
What's up, everybody? I'm Felicia.
I'm Malachi.
And I'm Lauren.
And you are listening to MOMager, a Barton Fam podcast where we take you behind the scenes of Hollywood family life.
All right. I am so excited to introduce you guys to our amazing, amazing guests. We have the one and only. She won't stop laughing. Freya Skye, everybody. And we also have her amazing, amazing mom, Sarah Furnish.
Let's give it up.
Last name.
I'm going to say your last name. Give a round of applause. We're set.
I love it.
For those of you listening, you guys may know Freya from her time on Junior Eurovision, where she came 5th, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, she killed it and ate up the competition.
Ooh.
4 + 4? No? Okay, never mind.
That was a long time ago.
And she also
PTSD.
last year signed a huge Disney music record deal. And she also just filmed a movie called Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires with yours truly, everybody.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean,
Okay,
Mom,
and
you got a little
and we
successful
know
surprise?
Talk about me? Or?
Yeah.
Anyone gonna give me a cool introduction?
Sarah
Or?
is her mom. And I
my
literally was like, when I asked you to do the podcast,
Yeah.
you were like, I'm only going to do the podcast if there's wine.
Yeah.
So Lauren.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Oh, you actually got me wine.
Yeah. It was the only way this is
Red
going to
wine?
happen. It's red. It's a Pinot Noir.
Oh, no. She knows me so well.
Yes. Well, for those of you that kind of watched the, on TikTok and all that kind of stuff, we definitely lived like right next door to each other in New Zealand. And so our mornings were basically coffee in the morning and wine at night. That was exactly it. And we literally, not a
Fat
lot.
glasses.
Any extra glasses?
Basically, halfway.
Any glasses for us?
I've already been trying to say that, and then it was not a good idea.
No.
apparently.
Oh, so did I just say something we even know? Okay, never mind.
Oh, no,
Never mind.
you're all good. You're all good.
No, but we like literally did this like
I was-
every single day.
Why did we drink so much?
look at this.
Thank you.
Yeah, pass it. Thanks.
Thank you.
So,
So basically, halfway through the
Thank you,
podcast,
Sarah,
my
for being
mom and
here.
Sarah are going to be stumbling
We've had
out of
to drink
the
this.
out of the
Yeah.
place.
I know. I've put water.
Cheers.
Y'all are going to start slurring your words, and then I'm
No,
going to have
we're
to
not.
talk the entire time.
No, we're not.
No, I'm playing.
No, but like we literally, a lot of people know this, but not a lot. But some people may not. We all lived. The entire cast lived on
floor.
one
Mhm.
floor in
that was
Auckland,
rough.
in New Zealand. And we, Sarah, Freya, and Malachi, Lauren, and we lived next door to each other. Like you could basically hear through walls even.
Oh, I
I could hear you guys doing singing practice.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I would
No.
get texts from Freya, and I'm like working on the music for the movie, and,
I'd be like,
and
"You
she's
sound
like,
great."
she's like, "You sound great," and I'm like, "Please, no, that's embarrassing." Please don't say that.
I could hear everything.
You
Who used to skateboard up and down
Oh,
the
that was
corridor?
me.
Definitely
I was
Malachi.
like-
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
me.
You
That
would
was
do
me
like
and-
jumps. And then
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah.
would like wake everyone
Who
up.
was it that was like singing up and
Oh,
down
yeah,
the
that's-
hallways? I don't even know who that was.
Not me.
Not me. I'd never do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't leave your room, your apartment without, I don't know why I just finger quoted apartment. You couldn't leave your apartment without like everyone peeking out.
Oh my gosh,
The
no.
peepholes.
Yeah.
The peepholes.
I had the, I
It's
had,
like,
we had the
where's
most,
everyone
okay,
going? Who's going where?
we had the most superior people because everybody else
You
was
could sit
the
down.
everybody else.
Hurry, we need to explain what we mean by peephole. Let's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that, thank you.
In the door.
A little hole in the door that you
Yeah.
could look out. But anyways, we had the superior people because all your guys' rooms were like down the side wall,
Yeah.
and only all you could see was directly across from you. And mine was at the very, very end of the hallway, and I could look down and see everybody's room. So nobody was getting away with anything.
Some would say
No.
a bit of stalker, but
And like you said, the walls are so
100%.
thin. The walls
Yeah.
were so incredibly thin. So I remember
Yeah.
one time I was like coming back from the gym and I was just like, had my bag.
just want to throw that in there.
No, that wasn't even on purpose. That wasn't even on purpose. And then all of a sudden I hear the door of a Malachi go, oh my gosh, that's so random timing. I was like, you 100% sitting
Yeah,
on
no, I was
people
probably
for
stalking
like an hour waiting.
Yeah.
It was the funniest
Yeah, you were
thing.
definitely stalking.
No,
waiting
I
for
feel like
her.
New Zealand was just it was so much fun. There were so many crazy things that we got up to. I feel like one of the other main things that is sitting on my mind is all the TikToks that we made.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were literally banging out TikToks at least we were just banging out like at least 3 times a day.
Yeah.
I agree.
And we had like, some crazy viral ones.
You guys made
and-
TikToks at concerts,
Yeah.
on set.
Yeah.
Malachi would do TikToks in between takes on
Oh my
set.
gosh,
Yeah.
yeah. Can we talk about
Can
that?
you look
Yeah, and then
in
on my
he's
TikTok,
there,
hey,
like,
shout out
dancing.
TikTok. My TikTok drafts got deleted recently, so I don't have any of those videos.
I
anymore.
know, which is kind of
times.
sad. So everyone,
But it's chill. It's chill.
Yeah, you're right though. He's like, oh wait, should we grab a quick TikTok? Because I'm off for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So-
Literally. But
yeah.
I feel like the fun thing about like us all filming TikToks together is it would always be just like, we'd all be out together and it'd be like, oh my gosh, like there's this dance. It would never be like, we'd go out and be like, we need to get a TikTok because
No.
we have every
Yeah, it
day.
would just
It's
happen.
literally
Yeah.
just like, oh, let's like mess about and do this dance, which
Yeah.
was so
100%.
fun.
Yeah.
But maybe in between takes and Malachi be like, and you're just like, Malachi, we're about to do like a really big scene, like.
You're right
Yeah.
though. That's a good point because you guys like sometimes it's like, oh, I need to post a TikTok. I need to
Yeah.
post something on my social media. That's not what it was at all. That was
Yeah.
not the vibe. Like the vibe
I
was
wonder if
definitely.
people thought that though, because
That's a
it
good
like
point.
it,
Probably.
yes, it
I wouldn't be
was not.
surprised.
That, yeah, it just was not that.
It was so
in the
organic.
slight- yeah.
It
Yeah.
was very organic.
Yeah.
It was you guys literally having so much fun until Sarah and I decided that we should also use a TikTok.
Hang on, hang on. We did one TikTok.
This is our
Oh
TikTok.
my
I may
we did.
have that TikTok right here.
Wait, you said you have it? Can you?
Okay, go play it.
Oh,
I mean, if that's not embarrassing to have on a
we did
podcast, I don't know what is. I don't really know what
Just
is.
never go. Did me dirty there.
Wait, but tell everybody because that was so funny. You found the TikTok and you were like, we need to do it. And how many times did we practice it?
Oh, hang on.
I think if you look through. Wait, is it whose camera roll is it? If you look through one of your camera rolls, there's
I
just
think it's
like
on yours. I
tries
think-
and tries.
Oh yeah,
upon tries.
we would. I'm crying. We would video it without the sound to begin with, just in our camera roll, but
Just to
of
practice.
me jumping on your back, you jumping on my back, and then we would get late. And I was like, guys, how do you do this? Shit? Like
Yeah,
this TikTok
yeah.
is hard.
100%.
And you just go, you
You're
listen
like,
to a little sound, and then you go, go on then, and you get it, and you're
Oh my
like,
gosh, you're actually crying.
yeah, I'm crying.
Oh my
with
gosh,
laughter.
guys, she's
Listen,
crying.
it's a very emotional
There's
moment.
a big first tears on
It's
the
an emotional
podcast.
podcast. We like to touch the hearts of many.
Honestly, the memes, it's
Emotional
too
moment.
much for me.
Yeah.
Hats off to TikTok people because that was our one and done, and I never
TikTok
did it
people.
again.
We're gonna do more.
TikTok.
We're gonna do more. Honestly.
do we need tissues?
Yeah.
To-
No, it's
Jason, do
fine.
we have any
It's
tissues?
laughter. It's laughter.
It's good. It's
Laughter
good
tears.
tears.
Might wanna have those on
Laughter
standby.
tears. Yeah,
It's good
laughter
It's
tears.
good tears.
I mean, that TikTok was so much fun though. We do have and that's kind of something that happened though. I think a lot for us is like the kids would be in school doing because they like
Yeah.
what a lot of people don't realize is that if you're in school and you're shooting a film, you're still doing school. So you have
Yeah.
to like get your 3 hours in
Yeah.
of school while you're shooting. So where adults, might just be working the whole day or have time to sit in their trailers and chill. Excuse me. We would sit in our trailers and make TikToks while they were learning about chemistry. I don't know, whatever it was.
Yeah,
that they were
I
learning
feel like
about.
that's one of the, I feel like that's one of the toughest. Just like a real quick side note, just I feel like that's one thing that not a lot of people realize is that like even especially like when I tell people that like oh I'm homeschooled, they're like oh you don't have to do anything
Yeah.
like oh it's so easy you sit there you have 2 hours of school a day. I feel like that's like the weird thing. It's very true. I don't do anything, but
We need to pull up a video at some point
Okay.
of
Have we got
Malachi
the-
at school doing I
I'm
am
just Ken on the desk. Do you remember that?
Him doing school? Well, you need to watch that video.
I do not have a video of that. I've never
I have
seen
it.
It's
It was the
funny.
funniest thing.
Where
It
is
was
that video?
on my phone. I'll
Okay.
show it to you
Hilarious.
guys. It was
It's
like
hilarious.
I'm just Ken, and if in love she sees a friend, what will it take for her to see the man behind the tan and fight for me? I'm just Ken, I'm enough, and I'm great at doing stuff.
it's just like hilarious. But I do like agree with that. We do have a lot to do, but it's so difficult going from like being on set and we'd be like singing and dancing or like climbing and doing stunts and like harnesses, and then it's like algebra, and you're like, what? So we would just play Uno and we would just like do like singing songs.
Because it's such a brain, like,
yeah.
you know, I mean, it really does. It's hard. Like, how do you turn that on and off? I can't imagine doing that.
And you think,
as a
what is
kid.
it, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? It was a bit different, right? Because of our laws were different.
Yeah.
But you could only, your minimum you could do was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But what are you going to get done in 20 minutes when you've just come off
it's tough.
set?
No.
It's
Like,
tough.
Especially when like a lot of it's like videos and stuff like that. Specifically, I know that you had like a lot of like longer videos. If I may be wrong, but I even for me too, it's like a lot of time tests. So I have like an hour to do a test,
Yeah.
and if I don't have an hour block, then I just end up getting kind of screwed over.
And
at
then
the end of the
sometimes
day,
you have to
but-
do school after set or on the weekend to
gosh.
like make sure that you're still getting it in, you know? We've
Kinda
had
lame.
some really great teachers over the years too. And Amanda
Yeah.
is one of those. We got to have her
Yeah.
in New Zealand for Zombies 4, and she is top quality for sure.
yeah.
And then it's
Couldn't
funny
agree
because the dads, meanwhile, we're inside doing TikToks. But I will not forget when I came over to the trailers at one point. This was towards the end of the time that I was there, and Lauren and Mike were sitting in like old man chairs.
Like
They
the
had
beach
gone-
deck chairs.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Shout
Well, do you remember this, Sarah?
Yeah,
when I
let's go
went to the
shopping.
sporting goods store and I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta find some outdoor chairs. You know,
Like, he
brought
needed
them
a
back.
fire pit.
100%. And then we had them set out in the sun. If we could have got a fire pit, you know, that would have been perfect. We would
You
have done
would
it
have
all.
done that. Yeah. I
We-
mean,
we
attracted
set up our-
everyone to our trailer.
It was
didn't we?
was
so
great.
funny.
It was,
so
good.
Like a
sweet.
Bible study outside of our trailer.
you really have to like set a vibe though, because it's your home away from home.
Yeah.
And so you're spending, you know, anywhere from 9 to 12 hours a day on a set or on a location. And so you want to have like things in your trailer that make you comfortable. Like we
Yeah.
would put pillows and blankets
all
and
that
like,
Pop-Tarts.
you know, all of those things.
Pop-Tarts.
Pop
We
tarts,
should have had
peanut butter
Pop-Tarts.
jellies.
Oh,
all of those things.
yeah.
We should.
I haven't had Pop Tarts in ages.
We had all these sweets in our trailer, and then the kids would just come.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm calling them the kids.
It
They're
was-
not kids.
Yeah.
They would just come in and
Yeah.
raid, and I'd be like, "Guys, help yourself." I was like the women with all the sweets.
I remember a good amount of times that you guys wouldn't be in. You guys would be back at Swiss Bell.
Yeah.
And I would just come into your guys' trailer and take all your stuff. And
You
I
didn't know
love
where it
that.
went?
and I one of the times I got in trouble by somebody because they were like, you're not allowed to be going into other people's rooms and
You're
like
like,
lurking
"It's
through other
Sarah
stuff. And I
and
was like, it's
Freya."
Sarah and Freya. Take a deep breath. It's not that big of a deal.
But the funniest thing about it was like it would be like lunchtime, and I always would like order food because I'm so picky. It's so bad. So I'd have like my Subway like in my
Subway.
trailer munching away, and I'd get a knock at the door. I'd go, "Oh, Malachi's come to eat lunch with me. Like this is so. I've done that twice. Like this is so lovely. Like Malachi would come in. I'd be like, come in, and he'd go, what sweets have you got today? Pop-Tarts. I'd be like, I've got Pop-Tarts, I've got this. He goes, okay, takes them and leaves. I go, right, not that I pulled up my chair and
I got
everything.
my priorities straight. My priorities are straight.
I go, lovely to see you. I'll see you when we shoot. Like awkwardly, like
gosh.
standing with like the chair and like the plate I'd set out. I'm kidding. I didn't go that far.
Okay, but we did go through a lot of Pop-Tarts.
so
Yeah, we
many.
Oh my god, are you
We
joking?
went through a lot of Pop-Tarts.
On the beach, like
Yeah.
we'd everywhere. We'd
Yeah.
like even shooting, we would like in between
This
takes.
is a crazy side quest. We just started talking about
I love
Pop-Tarts. Hey,
Malachi's like back on the talk track, back on the talk track.
No.
I love it. That's amazing.
It's like it's
There
wild.
were so many fun moments that we had. It was also really tough though. Like there was a lot of adjustment that we had
Yeah.
to just get there and, you know, settle in, making a home like we were kind of saying too. Like you literally I think Sarah, you and I hopped on scooters and drove down to downtown Auckland so many times and would get bags of pillows and candles, hangers.
Oh my
yeah, like
gosh.
all of the little things because
diffusers.
we were there
Food.
for 3 months. And so
Yeah.
3 months is a really, really long time to be anywhere. And so you have to really set up your home. And that's kind of hard, I think, as a mom too,
Yeah.
as a parents in general.
And I think what's really hard about that is like a home. I think a home is who's with you,
Yeah.
and obviously you're away from your
Yeah.
partner, my husband. You
Yeah.
guys were away. You know,
Yeah.
you were fortunate. You had a bit of time together.
Yeah.
That was by far the hardest, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Not having dad there, like the hardest
Yeah.
thing about all of that.
Yeah.
And I thought when he came out, it was great, but then it was then a whole new hard when he then had to leave again.
Well, that's because we had one bathroom.
It was awful.
So true.
No, but like, I guess like you said, it's like before he ever came out, it was like we never knew life out there with him.
Yeah.
And then he comes and you're like, oh, this is so great. Like
Yeah.
we're all together as a family. It's amazing. He leaves and then you remember this is what life is like with him here. When before it was easier because it's like he just never was there.
Yeah.
So it's harder when he left.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And that was a longer stint as well, wasn't it? Was it like 8 weeks or something?
Yeah.
And also the time
After.
difference for us was crazy.
The time difference was so crazy for you.
Yeah. So we were like,
I thought it was bad for us, but then you
No, it was like,
Yeah.
Which was like,
Ours was 20.
2
Ours was
hours.
21 hours.
Well, yeah,
but
but
so it's the
that's-
day ahead, and then like only
It's like
3
two-
hours.
So
after.
bad. Oh my
Almost, it was
gosh.
5
It
hours.
was like
we were
not-
How
it
did
was
you
not
cope?
bad. It was not bad.
Yeah, it
not
was
bad.
like 4 hours later the day
But
before.
I do hear what you're
think.
saying is that, like, for you, I remember when you were trying to talk to your friends back home,
yeah.
and it was like by the time you got home from working, they were already in bed. When they
Yeah.
were getting out of school to talk, you were at work.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's still different. It's
Yeah.
still hard regardless.
But for you guys, it was
Thank you.
12
Thank you very
hours.
much. I
Yeah, so I
appreciate
think, didn't it go to like 12 to 13?
Because
Yeah, because the clocks
The
changed.
clocks changed. Yeah, so literally we would be getting up. And you know what it's like? You know, you're getting picked up at what, 6:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Freya literally rolls out of bed at 6:15, jumps in the shower,
Get some Pop-Tarts.
stays in her pajamas and goes to set.
Yeah.
So then you don't have that time in the morning to talk. And then you
Yeah.
get home and, you know, we'd get home and then it'd be like, right, well, what are we doing tonight? We're going to have
Right.
dinner, or they go out and
We'd
get
always
ice cream.
do
Or,
dinners. Like
Yeah.
it
always.
was just
Yeah, we
really
did.
hard to schedule time. Like, it was really hard to communicate, I think.
I think it was really easy for our families because we had spent so much time leading up to it. Like, you two talked on FaceTime literally every day.
And that all
From
started.
the
I mean, that all
time-
started in the audition process.
Yeah.
We got so close so quickly.
I think that's why it was easy for us to even just jump into. We were so excited to hang out.
yeah.
Yeah.
We really were.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Frey were FaceTiming like pretty much every day.
I'd say every day.
We were
Literally
FaceTiming
every day.
every
FaceTimed
day.
Every day.
I remember even in the audition room, that side note, that audition process was
Wild.
Crazy.
unbelievable, which
Yeah.
I want to know a little bit more about your side in a sec. But just that time of like when we were on the at the 21st floor at the Disney building, and they called us to go work on our lines, and we were in a corner and we didn't work on our lines one bit. We talked about your dad and then some other stuff, and then we got brought in
General
and they were
things.
like, hey, yeah, these two, they looked like they were working great together. They were working on their lines.
We had not
And I'm
run it.
sitting here like, no, that's just not what was happening. We weren't doing that at all. But I think that that's like the thing that made it so good, and the thing that made our chemistry so amazing is the fact that we were able to go in after not working on our sides at all and just feed off of each other's energy so quickly.
Yeah.
But I feel like that relationship really lasted like a long time and went really, really quick because we were just immediately FaceTiming it, and there was so much anticipation to
Yeah.
being in New Zealand, living together, getting to hang out all the time and stuff like that. So
To
But,
tag on
yeah.
that audition, the audition process, they bring, especially for this movie, it really made it a global call, casting
Yeah.
call. And you guys came from London, which if you couldn't tell already, that's where they're from.
London look.
And you guys flew in from London, which is the first time we met you, was there at the Disney building.
Yeah.
And your dad was upstairs with us. It was you and your dad and me and Malachi, and the two of you were downstairs in the lobby waiting. And how was it for you guys coming all the way from London, taking a risk, taking off of work, all of that kind of stuff, not knowing if you're booking it or not? Like, what is that risk like?
I feel like, especially in this, and I'm so lucky where I have such amazing parents who are like willing to like take the time off work to like, you know, be able to come over to LA. Because if I didn't have such like a great mom and such a great dad, because they both came to the first ever like chemistry read. And if I didn't have that, then I wouldn't have been able to go to the audition, and who knows what would have happened. So I'm so lucky to be able to like do this and have them who were willing to do that. But honestly, I feel like I was just going to put my best foot forward and just kind of see what happens, because I was a big fan of the movies before, and I was like, this is just so exciting. See what happens, put my best foot forward and just have a good time. And I also knew Meg and Milo were going to be there. So I was like,
Right.
whatever happens, I will have met them. And then like life is complete.
I don't know. We've always gone into everything that Freya's done with no expectation. Like, we don't, you know, like, she hasn't got the job until she's got the job.
Sure.
But you just go in and you, like Freya says, you put your best foot forward and you go in and you have fun. And that's what we've really like drilled into, isn't it? Like, on every place you go, wherever you go, is to go and have fun and make a memory.
Yeah.
You know? And with this one, the chemistry read, you have never been in that situation before, right?
That was the funniest thing about it all. So I had never, ever done a chemistry read. I'd never read a scene with a boy. I'd never done any of this, any of it. So I kind of
Did
went
you Google
in.
how to do it though? No, I'm joking.
Wiki how?
How to chemistry with a boy.
Ask AI, ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Say-
ChatGPT.
hey, shout out ChatGPT.
Yeah, like how do I get good chemistry in it? No. But I went in and I was like, right, so, and I'm such an over preparer. My parents have always told me, was it? Fail to prepare to fail. So I'm always like such an over preparer. So I was watching videos of like other people who have been in things and they talking about their experience with chemistry reading, and they were like, we went in and we just kind of knew.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh gosh, I hope I feel like that. I hope I just know. This is gonna sound so cheesy and Malachi's gonna laugh at me. But when I went in, I'm just gonna read it with everyone, just kind of see what happens. And like, I can't even explain it, but I feel like I did just know. Stop.
Only because you said you
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything nice about Malachi
I wasn't even
anymore.
laughing. I just did that to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, it worked.
Nah.
No, but I did. I came out and I was like, Malachi is like Victor. Like, I feel like I just like subconsciously knew.
Yeah.
They
And
called
I
us
text-
back too from the from the
Yes.
elevator. Remember that?
That was crazy.
we had gotten into the elevator after leaving the chemistry read, and they called Freya
Everyone
back.
was in the elevator and we were walking. Oh no, you were in
I
the
went to the
elevator.
toilet.
I remember how this went down because your dad and I, we were all walking out of the room. We'd taken that picture outside.
Oh,
is what
yeah.
had happened with the whole everyone that was
Oh
there for the
yeah.
chemistry.
You're right.
room.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
And then they were like, "Hey, Malachi and Freya, we forgot we hadn't had you come back in a second time, or I don't remember what it was." And so everyone left, and then you guys went back in. And from that point on, it was still a really long process, but which we can talk about on another point. But it definitely felt in that moment. I remember they left, and it was just Mike and I sitting in that room, and we're like, "This is good. This is
Right,
good.
right.
Like, right?
This is what I
good."
mean though. Like we didn't know
Right.
didn't know
whether
what
that
that
was good or not because
Right.
we've never done it before.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I was obviously at home, not home, I was at the hotel
Yeah.
and Mike was messaging and
Yeah.
to be honest, he was like, this is really weird
Mhm.
because like the environment in
Yeah.
that room with everyone there was like not of an environment you'd ever been in before, right?
It's
Because
intense.
Freya's
Those
just like,
rooms are
oh, hi," and
intense.
like there's just everyone like bogging you out,
Mhm.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Like
It really depends
just
who
trying
you're
to
with.
suss you
Like,
out.
it's a really wild. There's a lot of competition. Every once in a while, like you'll run into certain people that are competitive, and then you'll also run into people that are just like, "Hey, we're here to do the same thing," and
Yeah.
and whoever, I'll be happy for you.
Which
wh-
is-
I
with
love
whatever
that.
happens.
That's the best
That's
way
the
to
best
be.
attitude to have
100%.
because you're meeting people along the way and you never know who you're going to work with in the future. And if
Yeah.
it's not right for you, it's not right for you and it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
You know, and you move on to the next thing. That's how
Yeah.
we've always approached it.
Oftentimes it's not so much about like, oh, I want to book this project. It's like getting your face in front of that casting director because so much of it is like meeting new casting directors, and then they see you, and then a project comes up and
Yep.
they're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I read
Yeah.
with this kid and he would be
100%
perfect for this.
perfect for this.
So
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
it's just all connections and meeting the right people at the right
Yeah.
time and everything like that.
But
and
Yeah.
the
being talented.
sacrifice is real.
Mike and I always say, like, you know, we had Freya and we were like, all we really ever want, we feel like we've succeeded in
Mhm.
life if Freya's happy and doing what she loves. And like, so like, even though she's only 15,
Mhm.
like she is completely living like your best life, aren't you? Like in every
Yeah.
aspect and everything that you touch, like you are like up there. And it's so rewarding for us. So, you know, yeah, like I had to quit my job.
Right.
Like, you know, we have to leave Mike when we come on like these little trips
Yeah.
to LA, like tour next year, like
Yeah.
Mike's coming with us,
Yeah.
that we're making that work with his work and stuff. So,
Yep.
you know, but like the reward to us is
Mhm.
regardless whether she books a job,
Yep.
regardless of whether she, you know, has a #1 single, whatever the future holds,
Yeah.
like the fact that like we have helped pave that way for her,
Mhm.
not financially, but in the supporting her
Yeah.
Mhm.
to make sure that her feet are 100% on that ground at all times. And she's
Mhm.
the humble, kindest person. Like we're just happy. We're thrilled.
I love that. Which
Yeah.
Wow.
she is.
Yeah.
She is.
You know what I
Yes.
love about what Sarah just said too is that parents are always willing to make sacrifices, whatever
Yeah.
the sacrifice is. And that really says, hey, you're worth it.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to be present with what you're doing.
Mhm.
You know, your passions matter, your dreams matter, your sports teams matter,
Yeah.
whatever it is that they're into. That's an important part.
100%.
Regardless
being
of
a-
the outcome.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And like you
right.
say, I think that is what it is, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like you matter. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Aw.
But yeah, it's but it's still wild. Don't get me wrong. Like I
Yeah.
have moments, and you know,
Well, you quit your job.
well, yeah. And I sit there with Mike
Yeah.
sometimes, and I'm just like, well, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like what you
Yeah.
know, like my life, and you know, even though like you know, I'm not a momager, But like, you know, like
You are.
Where's the bottom chat?
but
Yeah, no, there it is. Oh, shoot, sorry.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dad. I appreciate that. I
because
appreciate it.
you know, it's constant, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like your schedules, your styling, your makeup, your music videos, your
Yeah.
liaising with everything, your like
Chauffeur.
chauffeur,
you may
your
have-
invoicing,
Until I can drive.
everything.
Until you
have
get your
quit-
license.
You may have
There
quit
you go.
that job that you had, but you took on a full-time different job, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just lucky that you're lucky to be able to have your mom as that part in your life, to be able to wear all of those hats and do all of those things. Like, that's incredible, because it's definitely not that you're not working.
No, yeah. And I don't think of it like that as such, but
Mhm.
it's like, you know, I just struggled with that identity kind of like who, you know, when you have your job and you get up in the morning and you put on your suit and you go to work, like,
Yeah.
you know, with you and you're singing or whatever,
Mhm.
like that's what I had. And then I was also her mum.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, like that part of my life now, you know, I've supplemented it with everything for Freya. I literally quit my job, on like the Thursday. We were in New Zealand on the
Literally,
Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
Before.
But then I did become script supervisor.
I'm sure we can dig up some photos of some great
we have
moments on
lots of
set.
photos.
Oh,
That was just
100%.
the funniest thing. Again, it was my naivety to
Right.
going into this world. Like I just talk to
Yeah.
everyone. I'd want to know everything. And they probably were like, oh my God, this woman.
Because you're just that personality.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to, you know, be in the space that I need to be in. I'm going to meet the person that I need to meet. And Mike
Yeah.
actually is the exact same way.
Yeah.
He cracked us up while we were in New Zealand
Oh my gosh.
because that guy was going to paint a set. Like,
Oh yeah.
Well, he did. He did on his first day on set. The most random thing, I was like, Dad, lay low. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. And we know what my dad's like. He went in, good morning, guys. And you're like, oh, well, Mike Jones is here. Like, wow. And he saw they were building like a big tower thing that we
Yeah.
climbed up later
Yeah.
on.
yeah.
And he was adding like the paper mache. He started getting the paintbrush. And I'm like, Dad, this is not laying low. This is not laying low. And I was like, I'm waiting for me to fall
Yeah.
off this mountain and be like, the bit that my dad laid is the bit that was unsturdy.
That is
But
hilarious.
he just
And then
loves
he makes
it.
Disney dads. Or who was the Disney dads?
Yeah, double Ds.
I feel
Double
like my dad's
Ds.
the exact same way. I feel like
Oh, yeah.
you've been the
Yeah.
same way, even since Stuck in the Middle, and even just like the becoming friends with everybody, and that's like a big thing. That's
I
pretty
love
great.
it.
That's great to have. As a dad, it's good to, or
Have
as
you
a
around.
son, it's good to know that I have a
Yeah.
dad that can like really help befriend people, because it honestly helps me out too. Because then you're on everybody's good side, which is always good.
Yeah.
But the Disney dad thing is hilarious. Like, it was you, it was all of the dads that were there,
Yeah.
because all of the dads were there at one point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
I've
guys,
never been on a film or TV project where there was this many dads around.
Yeah.
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 But on top of that, there were like really great guys.
yeah, they were.
You know,
Yeah, for
uh,
sure. And
Dan
you guys have
and
a group chat.
Ranjit and Andrew. I mean,
And you guys do
And
poker
Mike.
night.
They do
Right?
poker night.
we did poker night on Zoom the other day.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
wow.
it's like we've stayed connected.
Yeah.
So
They have a group chat called Disney Dads.
Yeah.
That's
It's hilarious.
So when you
So
find
funny.
those kind of people and find
Yeah.
those kind of friendships in the process, you know,
Yeah.
it's gold.
The filming world, I feel like that's one thing that is talked about, but I don't know if it's talked about enough, is like the idea of going into the bubble, going into the like this world where you're catered for and you're literally weighted hand and foot. But like when it's drivers, shout out Red. I feel like we need to give a big shout out to
Love
Red.
Red.
Because
I hope
know
Red's
for a fact
watching
you guys
this.
love Red.
Yes,
For
Red.
the listeners, Red, for our Red is was
He's one
the
of the-
personal was one of the drivers on Zombies 4, and Freya.
Well,
and
he was
Sarah-
the first personal driver.
Yes, he was the
on
first
Zombies 4, I think.
personal driver.
There weren't
because-
personal drivers prior
because-
to.
Wait, we all of the drivers rotated.
Oh my gosh! First off, we love
Sarah
that.
and Freya.
I don't know how I get myself
Can I just jump in? We just had a bond, me and Red, and he's just the sweetest soul ever. And he would buy all my favorite snacks. So like in the car, he would have a blanket and a pillow in the car for me, so I could sleep on the way to set. And I've never cried so hard saying goodbye. Maybe actually with Malachi's like I did weep, but saying goodbye to Red, I was distraught.
Yeah.
Because you
bag
spend
thing that he used to have in
because you spend so much time with them, because along with them being like driving
Yeah.
us to set and stuff, they also were just with you everywhere on set
Yeah.
to make sure, like, if you were thirsty,
Yeah.
which is so crazy to say because that's very like princess. They're like, do you want some water? Do you want a
Yeah.
snack? But
But you don't have time for that. And that's when it sounds like it's, princessy or whatever, it's not about that. It's literally about you're going from one thing to the next and you don't have time to go, think for a second. So having someone that can just make sure you're hydrated is really
and on
helpful.
set, like wherever I was, he was.
Yeah.
So like we were just like so tight, and I think that was so great. Like every single one of the people who would like drive us on set, they were so lovely. And then they sent like a form at the end, and it was like, who was the best driver? Who had the best
my gosh,
music?
it was
Who
so
had the
funny.
cleanest car? And then we all had to fill out like a survey.
It's like red,
like a
red,
game.
red.
I was
You know,
out
I
too
hear in
late.
that I love though is that y'all found in the midst of filming a movie over in New Zealand, which could have any level of chaos on any given day. You got a different schedule every day. You're shooting in different locations. So there's stuff's changing all around you, but y'all found some stability in that. And I think that's important, you know what I mean? Because it's like you had that every morning at the end of every day.
Yeah.
He knew your rhythms, you knew his, you found a kind of a safe space. And finding those kind of things during a process like that is very important and helpful to you
so
to be able to stay healthy and get through it,
Especially when, like, going back to Mike not being able to be there for the whole thing. Like, he came for a few weeks in the middle, which is amazing.
With my dad, I want to word this the best I can. I speak to him sometimes loads and sometimes not a lot. So I feel like I try my best to speak to him every day, but I can fall into the rhythm of calling him when there's a problem. And I'll be like, Dad, there's a problem. And then when he doesn't hear from me from ages, he's like, okay, I know things are kind of fine.
Yeah.
So I think he just misses us so much. He's at home with our dog Ruby, and she's great company, but I feel like having my dad out here, just like I'm at my best with my mum and my dad because we're all so close. So like I feel like I'm missing a piece of my puzzle. That was really
100%.
cringe.
That's tough. And I feel like I'm missing a piece of my heart when Mike's not here.
Oh.
I miss Mike. I haven't seen him in a long time.
So actually when we're not there, like he misses us terribly, but it's his time to like really just focus.
Yeah.
And he just works and works and works because he's like, I'm going to work my ass off for these next 3 weeks so that when they come back, I can like give everything to them. You know?
I love that. We hit up Mike.
Oh, you did.
And he sent a little something for
I'm
you
actually
guys.
going to cry. Okay.
Dad.
Oh, I'm
This is
so
why we have tissues.
Did you actually?
Did you actually?
Did he send a video?
Oh, no.
Mike, welcome to the podcast.
Hey babe, hey Frey, just on our dog walk to the windmill, walking to the windmill. Say hi, Ruth. Yeah, bit weird doing the dog walks on my own. And yeah, just got me thinking how much I miss you guys. I miss you so much, and I can't wait to see you in a few weeks. And I'm so proud of you both. I probably don't say it enough actually because life is always so hectic, but I miss you both so much. I miss the laughter in the house, and I think it's fair to say the house doesn't feel like a home unless you two are there. And yeah, I can't wait to have you back. But for now, that's for my own selfish reasons, right? For now, keep smashing it, keep chasing the dream. And I can't wait to see you all soon. I love you lots. Rubes loves you lots. Say hi, Rubes. Oh, God, nearly fell over. British countryside for you. Love you millions. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Oh, he's so cute.
Why did you do that?
Yes.
Oh,
We
man.
literally just spoke to him as well before we came
Oh,
here.
you guys are the worst.
That's so
It's
cute.
literally the best. And I have to say, one of the things that I love the most about the three of you, because, okay, we're just three. And maybe that's why we hit it off so well.
Yeah.
Is because we know what it's like to just be a mom and a dad and a kid chasing wild, wild dreams. And just as a parent, like literally sacrificing all of it, you know, for the sake of your kid to like, now I'm crying too. Good Lord. Just to like, you know, to do it.
I
And
got
it's,
you. Thank you, Dad.
thanks.
them down.
There you
Let's just
go.
pass these down. And I've really just I've loved watching the three of you guys. I think your love,
Thanks.
you know, I loved it when I mentioned this earlier, when Mike got to come to New Zealand and the light that like I saw in my friend was like so incredible, and you just felt safe. You felt like your, you know, like your cozy blanket was there.
Yeah,
You know?
100%.
And I love the relationship that Freya has with her dad. Like, it's really, really beautiful. And you say all the time, you're like, he's like my best friend in the world, you know? You look great. Freya.
Is it bad?
No, you're fine.
You want the tissues?
Yeah.
You're not crying.
No, I know. I need tissues.
You're not crying.
Everyone knows.
Minga.
Keep the tissue.
But you know, and that's what I wanted to just go back to was that,
I don't need to blow my nose.
the relationship. And again, I don't know if this is unusual because we've never been in this situation before, right? I mean, we've been in, the industry now for a while, but nowhere to the depths that you guys have. Like, I honestly, like, hand on my heart, I'm going to cry again.
Don't cry.
Like, even with Mike, but like,
really
I couldn't have got through New Zealand without you two. Stop crying.
Do you want tissues?
No, I don't. There was late nights, wasn't there? Like, this is going to sound really weird. This isn't weird, but I would knock on your door and I would just be a wreck, wouldn't I? You were, then the next day we'd FaceTime and like, because it is hard, man. It is hard. And I think, towards, the trip, like you guys became my normal, my safety, and I think we built a really good friendship.
Totally.
That's, and we got back from New Zealand, in May? No, when did we get back?
February.
May.
I don't know my month's
Malachi was a
homeschooled,
little
guys.
out of it in New
It's the online.
Zealand.
It's the online.
He's like, this is a really awkward conversation. I'm just everyone's crying around.
No.
I know I'm
really-
crying.
It felt like we have family away from our family, which was crucial at some of those times,
We really did get so close and we spent so much time.
Yeah.
Like when you're living that close to each other and you're literally having dinner and you're having lunch and you're doing school and the weekends are spent together. Even for us, sometimes we had to go like, you know what, guys, tonight we're going to just have a family dinner and that's okay.
I think we did that once because
One time out of 3 months.
And when we did family dinner, we were like, well, we've cooked. And then we ended up having everyone over because we cooked so much food.
Yeah,
We spent every waking second.
I don't know if I would change that.
I wouldn't.
I don't think I would change that. I think
You're
my
prepared.
eyes and my preparation, like for how to like deal with, I want to call it the come down coming home.
It really is, yeah. It's
it is wild. And there's nothing, as parents, as we know, seeing your kid like cry, like so heartbroken and not being able to say the right thing or do the right thing or like being able to fix it, because that's what we like to do as parents. We like to come up with solutions. We like to fix things. Mike and I had to just stand back and let her ride it out. And that was horrible.
Yeah.
How did you find coming back with like your friends? Because
it was, that one was really, it was interesting. I felt like for the majority of it, other than certain people, it was almost like we just kind of picked it up where we left off.
Yeah.
That is also the fact that I've done the transition, that come down
so many times,
3-4 times, multiple times before. And so it's like, and even now, even now though, I'm still not fully used to it because you make different relationships with different people on different projects. So it's like,
and you're not always sure if those relationships are going to stick either.
Yeah,
like that's something that I think there's this idea that like when you're done with a project, everyone is like forever best friends and
Which just isn't true.
Well, like you have a memory with that person and you create. And I think when you create with someone, that sticks deep, right? It like really penetrates into your soul.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, you're always going to relate with those people differently. But the expectation that, just like a kid on a baseball team is probably not going to be best friends with the kid when they were 12 that they are when they're 25, Like I keep in touch with a couple of people from high school. So there is that expectation that everyone is going to be like this when you leave. But it's not always the case, and that's okay. And you have to like have grace for yourself,
100%.
In that space.
Yeah, coming back with I feel like that was honestly one of the number one things was that separation of like not hanging out every single day. It was interesting, but it was also like, I know for a fact that like if those relationships are meant to continue, then like they will, no matter what. And there were so many things coming back that like I had to figure out personally and in my heart, just with like friends and everything like that. So I feel like, after figuring it all out, it's like you finally get back into your groove, and then it's like, oh, okay, you're taking trips out here, and now we're hanging out and all this type of stuff, and then you're kind of rekindling that relationship that you had in New Zealand.
In a different space.
Exactly. Yeah.
Freya, I think that's important because like I'm hearing us all talk about the struggle. And it was a struggle that lasted like weeks, after leaving New Zealand until we could get our feet back on the ground and find back our regular sense of normal. And that feels like potentially a negative. So wait, did we do something wrong? And I'm going, no, this is actually a tribute to the friendships that we made while we were there and how deeply we connected with each other and how well we actually loved each other. Like if we had just stayed more surface, you know, and had like a working relationship, it probably wouldn't have been as hard to come home from that.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
But it's
so true.
so it's like it actually speaks highly of the time that we've invested in our friendships, you know.
That's
and
important.
it's like, hey, when you do that, you put your heart out there further. And so when you pull away, it's going to hurt more, you know.
Literally, yeah.
And I love that you mentioned the grace thing too, babe, because I remember while we were over there in New Zealand, that was a topic of conversation. We had a bunch with this idea of, hey, give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, I feel like I know I had to do that coming home. It was like I had to give myself grace. I had to be patient with that process and then do some practical things, even like, you know, daily routine, like us starting to work out together.
Yeah.
Find your feet back on the ground.
Yeah.
What were some of those practical things that y'all were able to do routine wise that helped you find the rhythm again?
I got really into the gym and I really got into like just like getting in a good routine with that, because just having one thing that you do like regularly, and I would go like
Outlets, yeah.
3 to 4 times a week, and just
Yeah.
something that I could get into regularly created like a whole routine for me. Like
But no, I think routine for you, and we've definitely spoke about this, is a massive thing for Frey.
Yeah.
Like,
Same for Malachi.
Yeah, just having a routine, having something, and also like, this is going to sound, I'm going to say it's lame, but it's not, but like, we have like a family calendar now, and she has everything in her calendar, and she can see, and I think just having that like purpose of like, you
What's
know,
next?
everything,
Knowing.
knowing what's next, knowing what's coming up.
Yeah. That's
but yeah,
important.
the gym has been amazing for you.
That's awesome.
I just
Yeah.
love it. And it's not even necessarily like, well, obviously fitness is a great part, but also it's like a time to just kind of like separate from like any stress. Because when you're in there, I'm so focused on like not dropping the weights, or like I'm so focused on not looking like silly and like giving up.
Yeah.
So I'm just like really just going at it. And that was just so good
Yeah.
for everything. But coming back, like my best friend, she went away for 2 months to Portugal. And I'm like, I'm so glad you're having a nice time on your family holiday,
And
but
you?
I miss you.
Right.
Like I've been away for so long and now like I miss you so much. And something else I was trying to get really good at, and we've spoken a lot about this, was I got home and then we had an LA trip booked to go to the Descendants premiere and then other things out there. And I counted down the days. I would not enjoy a single day at home, and I would sit and I would wait and I would text everyone who was in there, I'm coming to LA, blah, blah, blah. I'm so excited to see you. And then I feel like, I don't know why, I feel like I thought maybe like going there and it would be like, I would be not fixed is the wrong word, but like I would be fine.
Would fix it. Yeah.
Everything would change. And I had that for the two trips I did. And then this stint I've had at home, I've been at home for like 2 months before this trip. And I was like, I just want to feel comfortable being at home.
It's amazing.
I just need to enjoy this time rather than
You're always
I would
chasing
count
something,
down.
aren't you? Like
Being present.
being present.
Yeah.
I was
Being
really
super
not present. And
Yeah.
now I was so happy. Like right before we left, I was like, I love being at home. I'm excited to go to LA, but like I would happily stay at home as well. So I
That's
felt like I
amazing.
found a good balance
Oh, you have
recently
like I
of
say,
enjoying home.
I love that.
I love
yeah.
it.
I love
That's
that.
great.
And that
Yeah.
was one of your things, wasn't it? Like, I want to feel comfortable doing nothing. And that's actually really hard. Like, I'm
so hard.
Like, I go for a facial and I lay there and I'm like, dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee. Like, you know,
you're like chatting to her.
I like chat and she's like, you're supposed to be relaxing. I'm like, no, we need to talk because of my mind.
Yeah.
Like, even I'm bad at that. Like,
Yeah.
and when you like, that's my goal, I was like, that's just such a like mature thing to
Yeah.
think about, because there's your life, you know, that you're setting the foundations.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we were kind of thrust into this like
Yeah.
Disney world, right? If you think
Yeah.
about it, like it all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
To like the signing the 360 deal, to the
Yeah.
the Descendants, no, love Descendants,
To
but
the
no, to the zombies,
Yeah.
to the zombies audition, to like
Yeah.
flying out here back and then to
Yeah.
be in New Zealand. It was
Yeah.
like so quick.
Yeah.
Like our feet just did not. We didn't
Yeah.
have time to really process
And then
it.
all of a sudden you're home and you had to process it.
yeah.
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 It sounds like you guys
But-
have been processing that in such a healthy way. It's
Yeah.
really
And
incredible.
hey, time is amazing.
is-
And every
best.
situation from here on out too, it's like you have that to pull from,
Yeah.
but they're all going to be different,
100%.
you know? And in
Yeah.
that, you just continue to give yourself grace,
100%.
you know?
But this is my second home.
Yes.
This is my
You'll
second
be-
home.
It'll be your first home soon.
Ooh.
When you move.
Yeah.
Family is
Okay.
where the people you love
Sorry.
are.
So I want to. This is really
No more sad
incredible.
videos.
No. I don't have another sad video.
Yeah, sadly.
This is so good. I love all of this conversation.
And Taylor Swift, everybody. Could you imagine?
If
Could
you
you
did that
imagine?
to me,
Yeah.
I would be like, that would be, I can't even comprehend
Yeah,
that.
you would lose it.
But Malachi would never do that.
Okay, so you were 14 when we met.
Yeah,
And-
such a baby.
And I literally was like, this is the best 14-year-old singer I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Like, and
100%.
I
Me too.
I don't talk like that about people. Like, but you're literally one of the most incredible singers, and your control, like just everything, all about it. It was just so good. Everything that you do. And I loved hearing you sing through the hallways. And I love hearing you sing whenever we're at a restaurant and you just start singing. And I'm like, she bleeds music. You bleed singing. You bleed that creativity. And for me as a singer, and I'm just like an old bitter.
No, you're
jaded.
insane.
No, you're not.
But
insane.
But what I'm like, I've been in music for so long, and I have just, it's so refreshing to see you at this time.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed. Clearly, I'm obsessed. So you've released Walkover,
Yeah.
Someone to Love,
Yes.
Winter Dream.
I just love music. Like you said, like
Yeah.
I bleed it. Like I just love to sing. I love to write.
Yeah.
I love everything. And sometimes I guess when we're out, I remember we were out the other day, like Dancing with the Stars, and I just did like a riff while we were signing in, not even trying to draw any attention to myself. And someone was like, "Ooh," and I was like, "Sorry, I don't even realize I'm doing it. I just, it just." This sounds so, it just falls out of me.
Wait, will you play the very end, Lauren?
That's
I
great.
think that's what's so amazing
Thank
as well.
you.
Like the support you've got to be able to like release music, to go in and now write music, which you're going to be releasing. Like, I mean, I don't know what that feels like. 'Cause I've never
Scary. I'm
written
actually scared.
songs about
personal
stuff
Yeah.
to the world, and like all while trying to still figure out like who you are as an artist and like.
And who you are as a human.
And you're 15.
Right.
Like, it's wild.
Yeah, we're
and
so
who
proud
gets,
of you.
And
It's
even
amazing.
both of you, like getting to go on tour next year, like arena tours.
Yeah.
We need to talk about.
Yeah,
we
I say that we chat about tour.
Yeah,
I'm so buzzing. How do you feel about it?
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm feeling 1,000 different emotions. But I mean, yeah, it's the Descendants Zombies Worlds Collide tour coming up
This summer.
and so I'm stoked. But I am curious, Freya, what are like out of all the emotions and everything that you're feeling, what is the main thing that you would say you are probably the most nervous about with the entire thing?
That's such like such an interesting question. Let's dissect that. I'm kidding.
Let's dive into that.
Let's dig deep. No, I feel like for me, I don't want to be like deep, but my biggest worry is there's nothing worse than coming off stage and like feeling disappointment, because the only thing you want to do is when you come off stage is be able to call everyone and be happy and excited. And the hardest thing I think I found in my whole music career, like as it stands right now, from like Eurovision to like other things I've done, is honestly just the feeling of coming off of stage and being like, I'm so disappointed. And I feel like I just want to make sure I go on stage and every night I'm like, I've literally done everything I could and I had fun. I just never want to come off stage, and my biggest fear is like coming off stage and feeling not disappointment, but just like, I wish I did this. So I'm just going to go out and have fun and leave everything on stage.
No regrets.
Yeah,
No regrets at all.
exactly.
I think that's in music in my life, you go out there and you put it all out there. You sing your best. You do your absolute best. I've dropped lyrics. I have had one clap. You know what I mean? Like those moments happen, and that is what creates the career. That's what creates the story. That's the roller coaster
100%.
of
Also humbling.
life. It
Brings you back to
learn.
earth.
You learn. I mean, we've literally been through so many different. We've played tons of shows over the years, and I've never done an arena tour like you guys are about to do, but it's going to be absolutely epic. And you might be nervous, you might have those doubts, but I think you let them all go, and you just really embrace every single city, all of these fans. I mean, we can't really talk about like what the songs are and everything yet and what it's going to look like, but we've all had those meetings so far.
Yeah.
And I'm so stoked because you guys are going to sing the best songs.
Oh yeah.
Right? The Descendants and Zombies fans are going to get the best show. Like, I am so stoked for you guys. And not to mention, you're going to see the entire country.
I think getting to travel, I'm so excited about because I've only been, I say only, I've been to Nashville, Florida and LA. Oh, California. And they're like the only states I've been to, which is still a lot, but considering how many
Only
we're going
3
to
out of the
on the tour, it's
Maybe.
insane. And this is so early, but I've already been like saving places to go. There's like a cafe in Vegas I want to try.
I love it.
And New York is like my dream place. I want to go at Christmas time, but like any time of the year to see like Times Square.
Yeah.
And
Have you ever been to New York or no?
Never.
We
I
gotta
see
get
a
you to
Broadway
New
show
York.
I'm
and
honestly
everything.
the most excited to watch you guys travel around the country. I'm so excited for you guys to meet the fans.
Oh
around
my
the
gosh.
world,
Yeah,
around the
I'm
country.
so excited to get to meet the fans and everything like
Yeah.
that. Get
Yeah.
to. I hope that they do the thing where it's like, whoever's like going craziest gets the backstage pass or something at the end. I would
Yes.
love for that to happen.
You guys should just like sneak out and go meet people in line or something like that too. I think
Yeah.
that'd be so fun.
100%. Just I think this is why it's so cool and it's so unique. Obviously, they did it with the Jonas Brothers and Miley did the
Yeah.
tour like this, and it's gonna be so fun. And I'm really looking forward to just being on stage because I
Yeah.
just love performing,
Yeah.
and also just meeting
Sarah
everyone.
and I are really looking forward to being on the bus.
Yeah,
Making TikToks and following on the
Making
bus.
TikToks and drinking wine.
TikToks on the bus.
We should actually.
I'm gonna
start
come
TikTok
tuck you in
account.
every night, Sarah.
You guys should make a you guys. I like that idea, Sarah. You guys should
Yeah.
make a TikTok account.
that
And
would
then
be
Dad,
so
you and the
sweet.
dad should start a TikTok account
Yeah.
called Disney Dads. I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be a great idea.
And right before we go on tour,
We got the movie release.
the movie comes out.
What movie?
I am
Just
so
Just
the
a
one
movie that we've been talking about for the
literally
last-
whole podcast.
How are you feeling about that, Freya? You excited? You ready?
honestly, this is so mixed emotions. And I never thought I'd feel like this. I thought it would just be pure excitement, but I can't help but be like, oh my gosh. And I'll lie in bed awake at night. We shot ages ago. And I'll lie in bed and go, why did I do that in that one scene? And I'm like, it's done now. Like
and it's
something I
probably
can
not
change.
even the.
And it's they probably won't even use that
Right.
shot. But in my mind, or I'll be like, I hope Paul used that shot where I did this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't help but your thoughts just
Yeah.
run wild because you're hoping or wondering, but also I'm just so excited just to watch it for the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I feel like I know I will probably be a mess. I will probably just be crying.
We're for sure gonna be crying.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Which is
I'm
so
terrified.
hard because you don't cry. So I'm sat next to you. I just
Yeah.
look so emotional. Malachi's there like, that
I
was
remember
cool.
when
He does
wrapped.
cry sometimes.
I cry every once in a while. I'm trying to. Honestly,
When did you last cry?
When did I last cry? Wow, that's a good
Sorry.
question.
I know.
I last cried about
was about a month and a half ago.
2.5 months ago, 3 months ago,
Month and a half.
2 months ago,
Go ahead.
right? Something like that.
September.
Yeah, September. Just like that mental side of things and everything like
Mhm.
that. Like that feeling when you make a stupid mistake and then it ends up opening up a good conversation, and that was the last time I cried.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that,
Yeah.
it's not a normal thing for me. So
Good for you, bud. Be willing to cry.
Yeah.
Don't
Thanks,
don't go
Dad.
the road don't take the road I took, which was I didn't cry for the first time until I was
We were married.
but I mean, I want to say 36, 37
early
was the first
30s.
time that I ever
Yeah.
really I mean, I had time over the years where my eyes would start watering up a little bit, but I think at a really young age
What about, pain, like
maybe. But in terms of emotion, in terms of feeling
yeah.
sadness or, heavy emotion, I just at a young age decided that I was supposed to bottle it up.
Mm.
And that was the way I was supposed to deal with it. I mean, I was wrong, but it took a lot of years to unwind
Yeah.
that.
That's
So-
wild to me because you are so connected.
And you're so
To your
open as
emotions.
well.
Yeah.
now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a process. It's been,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's been a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your favorite word, Sarah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you know what? Like with regards to the movie, like all the work that you guys put into that movie, like I know we're excited for everyone to see it, but I am like so excited for everyone to meet Victor and Nova.
Oh my gosh.
Like
me
I cannot begin to tell you like how those characters are gonna like change people's lives.
I agree.
I'm
Mhm.
so
like in
excited.
everything you stand for, or those
Yes.
characters stand for.
Yeah.
Like from like my age to like the younger generations.
Agree.
Like you guys, like say, put your blood, sweat, and tears into bringing those characters to life, and you should be so proud of
Yeah.
of who Victor and Nova are as characters and as people. Like, 'cause, yeah, it's gonna go off. Like,
And the music.
I'm so excited to not have to go
Next
into the
level.
box to listen to the
Oh
songs.
my gosh,
Going,
right.
like, having to go through like 3-step authentication to like listen to like
Same.
I was about to say the name to listen to one of the
Right.
songs. One in particular I go for a lot. But I'm so
I
excited.
think I might know which one you're talking about.
I'd be interested in which
Is
one
it one that the two of you sing together?
potentially.
Maybe.
Do you listen
Like
to
all of them.
I listen to all of them a lot.
I love
Yeah.
all of the songs.
I think-
Honestly, I'm so excited because, you know, I feel like in movies in general or a record or whatever it is, like you always have like a couple songs that you're like, yeah, that's my jam. But like every single
It's
song,
all-
and
they're
maybe
all
I'm
hits.
partial, but like they're so good.
I feel like that's the one thing. I feel like honestly, that's the thing that even the OG cast was saying was that like this is the first time that they've like literally had a soundtrack and had like there's
Every-
not one song that they
No.
don't enjoy listening
no,
to.
there
Yeah,
It's
no
really
skips.
wild. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
no
there's,
skips.
there-
There's no
there's none.
skips.
They're all hits and they all like fit our
Yeah.
fit our voices and fit the story really really well. And there's so many comedic moments just
Yeah.
with MK and all that. And
I was actually about to say it then. I was like, ugh.
No, and as well,
Very
but like
self-one.
even with us, we would sing these songs like not on set.
yeah.
Like you would come over to my apartment and we would sit and sing these
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Which now I'm like, that's so like funny, but it's also
Yeah.
so sweet that like
yeah.
we would always just sing together and like sing,
Mhm.
especially the song that we sing together. we would
We
sing
can't
that
talk about
a
it yet.
lot.
We could always say it and then bleep it out. Risky,
Yeah.
risky
I mean,
business.
we'll just bleep it.
Yeah. When I first met you on the 21st floor at the audition, and we went outside to like, we were meant to do our lines, but we ended up just speaking. And I would have no idea that Malachi like basically grew up on like Disney Channel, like from Stuck in the Middle and stuff. I had to like pry it out of you because I was like, so this is so embarrassing now. I was like, so first acting job or like, and we hadn't,
Nice,
at this point it was
Freya.
just the first time we met and Malachi was like, no, like I've done a bit here and there. And I was like, cool, like what? And Malachi's like, oh, well, a bit on Disney Channel. Cool, like what? He was like, oh, well, a show when I was 8. What was it called? Like I had to really
Yeah.
like pry it out of you. And I think that just goes back to like how like humble you are in the sense that like, stop. No, but I genuinely, I would have no idea unless like you
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah. I love
Right.
that.
And that's
I
true of you
appreciate
too,
that.
Freya.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
both are
Oh.
so humble and so genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's amazing. You know, I think that's
Yeah.
what people want out of a friend. That's
Yeah.
what people hope for their kids, you know,
Yeah.
like that's amazing.
Yeah, we're lucky. We're really
Yeah,
lucky.
and you just never lose that.
Yeah, you guys are very lucky. No, I'm
Over
kidding.
Oh, you are just so lucky to have us.
Over the next year, though, I mean, it's
Got
gonna
a
be
lot.
it's gonna be important. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, keeping
check
our.
in.
Yeah.
Lauren, what were those things that you were telling me about? Some
Oh
of
yeah,
those
I
things
found
that-
this great article on Healthline from this psychiatrist named Dr. Karen Gepp, and she's talking about daily habits to boost mental health. Because I think that's kind of what we're talking about. Is like, hey,
Yeah.
we're going through the ups and downs of life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For y'all, you know, it was crazy in New Zealand. We're kind of in this downtime sort of right now, and then there's more stuff coming on the horizon. How do we navigate all that? And like, what simple practical things can we do on a day-to-day basis? And like the first one that she talks about is simple, but it's get good sleep.
Mm.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's a study in 2021 that said people who averaged 6 hours of sleep or less per night were about 2.5 times more likely to report frequent mental distress compared with those who got 6 or more hours of sleep.
Wow.
Another great one is to strengthen your relationships, which I've heard that through a lot of our conversations here too, because friendships help ease feelings of loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it easier to get emotional support when you need it. And of course, adds meaning to your life. The other one that I thought was interesting was make sure you eat lots of nutrient-rich foods.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
So,
Caesar salads.
yeah,
Okay.
Seriously,
Well, I'm fine
you're
there
the
then.
most mentally healthy person ever.
there are some foods that actually boost your mood, like
Really?
berries,
Mhm.
bananas, beans,
I love
whole
bananas.
grains,
Beans.
and salmon, fatty fish.
Salmon.
Did you know that?
So interesting.
I like
Yeah.
bananas
Yeah.
and berries.
And
No.
salmon.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you had salmon in New Zealand, right?
No.
Yeah, didn't you cook salmon one night?
No, not.
I
New
probably
Zealand.
ate it if Felicia made it.
Yeah.
If you made it, I would eat anything you make because it's just everything you make is literally made of gold. But if mum made me salmon, I'd be a bit like, ooh. I'm just picky, but I don't mean to be.
Yeah.
But I feel like you guys actually pushed me out of my pickiness. So Malachi grabbed me a chip.
I walked you in
Basically,
with the
like,
picky side of stuff.
I felt like I was like a baby being like fed because Malachi was like, right, Freya, I'm getting you. He picked up a chip, put a lot of guacamole on it, like maybe a little too much. I was like drowning in it.
It's the way you say guacamole though for me.
Wait,
it was amazing. No, it's just the most beautiful way to say guacamole ever.
How I meant to say it? Guacamole?
Guacamole. No, it's great. It's great. It was just the accent. It's perfect.
Oh,
Is guacamole on the list? Does guacamole raise your mood? I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, we'll have to look that one up.
But it was good. I liked it. I did like
I love
it.
that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, well,
Cool.
I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming on MOMager today. Like, seriously, we have cried. We have laughed a lot. We actually cried a lot too.
Yeah.
It was the more emotional
But
than
like,
I
you
thought it
guys
would
are
be.
such dear friends to us, and this is just the beginning. And I can't wait to really,
Same time next year.
Same time. Honestly,
actually,
honestly,
where
we'll
will
do
we
it
be?
again.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
do
we
it
will.
again before we go out, probably on tour, because we're
100%.
talking about having a whole zombies podcast where we bring everybody in just to like chat
It'll be
before we
fun.
leave.
Everyone in here?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be so fun? We just like sit around the
I would sit on the floor. I'd be
Yeah,
like
I love
cross-legged
it.
on the floor.
It'll be fun. But
Thank
I
you for
also
having
want to
us.
thank. I also want to thank the listeners for
Yes,
tuning in
obvious.
and coming and
Yes.
hanging out with the Barton fam.
Yeah.
We love you all so much.
Thank you, you guys, for coming on MOMager and going deep with us about your actual real life, and also being willing to take us behind the scenes of your Hollywood/London family life. And thank you so much, like Malachi said, to our listeners for tuning in. And we will see you next time on MOMager, a Barton
out.
fan podcast.
Take it day by day.